Hi, my name is Jon Kelsen. I'm a teacher here at Drisha. This week we read Parashat Pinchas. At the end of last week's Parsha, the character of Pinchas engages in this zealous act of vigilante justice, if you will. You can look at Numbers 25 for more detail. But in this week's Parsha, God responds towards Pinchas' actions, and God says, Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen heshivit chamati me'al bnei Israel, that Pinchas of the Kohanic lineage has turned back God's wrath from Israel, b'kano et kinati, by being kano, God's kinah. Kinah usually meaning jealousy or passion. So the JPS here translates that Pinchas displayed among them, meaning the Israelites, his passion for me, i.e. God. Pinchas displayed passion for God in engaging in that vigilante justice, and as such, remove God's anger from the Jewish people, and thus, as God in verse 12 of chapter 25, Lachain, God says, and more, Hineni noten lo briti shalom, I'm going to give Pinchas my brit, my covenant of shalom. And we therefore encounter this interesting juxtaposition of kinah and shalom, of a figure who embodies what's here called passion and action, perhaps jealous action, zealous action on the one hand, and therefore is the recipient of a covenant of shalom. Now it could be argued, as some have, that covenant of shalom is meant to be a corrective towards Pinchas's kinah, Pinchas's jealousy or passion or general zealousness. And indeed, we read in the Haftorah for Parashat Pinchas from the book of Kings with regards to the story of Eliyahu Hanavi, Elijah the prophet, and the jealousy, the kinah, the passion that he displays, as he himself calls it, kano kaniti la'Hashem, on Mount Carmel, when he challenges the prophets of Baal in a sort of sacrificial theological showdown. In that account, of course, famously thereafter, Eliyahu has the vision of God, where God is found not in the thunder and in the storm, but rather in the kol d'madaka, in the still, silent voice, which potentially is meant to claim that true, the action of Eliyahu is one of kinah, and God apparently, at least in some respect, approves of that action, but at the same time, God is found primarily not in those moments of kinah, but rather in the kol d'madaka, or what is called in the times of Pinchas' parsha, the brit shalom. Indeed, Chazal claim that Pinchas and Eliyahu are the same person. Either they mean that literally, they mean to associate the two because they have shared characteristics. So I just wanted to say for this week that while it's possible that shalom is meant to be the corrective for Pinchas's kinah, that doesn't at the same time sort of avert the fact that Pinchas's kinah seems to be laudatory in some respect. And I simply want to say as follows: I think that we often talk about kinah, be it jealousy or sort of unbridled passion, as something which is meant to be tempered and pulled away from. It's out of control. It's associated with a fundamentalism that I imagine many of our viewers are uncomfortable with. Indeed, the Mishnah in Pirkei Avot teaches us that kinah is one of the things which removes one from the world. Just think of the story of Cain and Abel back in the beginning of our book. But at the same time, we know from other contexts in Chazal, indeed I think from these stories themselves, sometimes some forms of kinah are actually beneficial. We say kinat sofer marba Torah or marba chachma, that jealousy in certain respects can actually increase Torah. So what I'd simply ask of ourselves this week is, can we locate sort of a good or holy kinah in our lives, a fiery passion, a zealousness, a commitment that is something that is to be aspired towards actualizing. And in short, I would ask you, the listener for this Shabbat, what is your kinah, what is your passion that you can relate to, hook into, along with our ancestor Pinchas, and what do you do with it? Shabbat Shalom.